Okay, queen, so we're gonna be doing this like a get ready with me / story time. So yes, let's get into it. Cheers. Okay, so let me just prime my face whilst I give you guys my rundown as to why I took a year off, a full year after I began my brand in 2020, early 2020. VeryBest by Kaysia Verneuil-Joyeux. I'm not sure if you guys remember, but I know a lot of you do because you have been asking me to go back into it. And to be quite frank, I had to work through some stuff, emotional stuff. I had to work through myself in order for me to continue this journey. Alright, so I will be explaining to you guys what I did and how I stopped and how I managed to rebrand myself to become VeryBest by Kaysia Verneuil-Joyeux to Divadynasty. Okay? So I'm done priming my face and I'm gonna be putting some foundation right now. And I'm gonna be sipping on some wine because, to be honest, I'm just gonna be talking to you about this with my authentic self. So it's not really planned per se, but yes, let's get into it. I'll be drinking all this to help me power through this. Okay, so you guys remember in 2020, early 2020, I began this brand VeryBest by Kaysia Verneuil-Joyeux. And for me, I was really excited about this. And you guys all knew we did so many things. We did how to eat well, how to diet, how to I showed you guys different recipes. We also did challenges. We did exercise challenges. I remember we doing a 14-day strict exercise routine. And we did several things. I remember in December I did a 25-day haul to Christmas as to different things that I did. I cooked some recipes. I showed you guys how to basically enjoy life. And I believe I was doing this from a pageant perspective because you guys know that I am a pageant contestant. Well, a past pageant contestant, a past pageant queen. I have won pageants. I have not won pageants. And it was all about becoming the very best. And I think I was stemming it from that regard. So yes, for the year, when I was talking about becoming your very best, becoming your very best, I hit an emotional wall. Let me tell you. Let me get my makeup because you guys know I like to talk and it can get really long. So let me just try to stay on track. I want to make this as short as possible. Okay, I put some music. Let me just end the music. 1 second. Okay, so my music is lowered. So in talking to you guys a lot about my brand VeryBest by Kaysia Verneuil-Joyeux, I hit an emotional wall. And thinking back about it, I was definitely blaming. I did a lot of blaming myself. You know, I blamed the global pandemic for how I was feeling, like I was feeling depressed. I blamed grieving of my past environment to my new environment. You guys know I'm from St. Lucia, big up. Yes, I'm from St. Lucia and I moved to the US, and it's been an absolute fun journey in adjusting myself. But I got depressed. So yes, I was happy with my marriage and everything. It wasn't my marriage per se, but it was just the fact that I was adjusting to a new environment. I'm not going to discredit it because there is proven facts that show that when you move to a different environment or you undergo a different journey, it can be very stressful. So I was stressed and I got to a point of depression. But I wanted to take my branding to another level. and emotionally I was feeling so stuck to do so. I felt like I was not good enough because I haven't like won Miss Universe, or I did not do an international pageant. Then maybe that was not my vocation. One second. So like I said, in doing this, in beginning this journey, I wasn't ready for, I think emotionally, for the depth in which I wanted to go into it. And I didn't realize that when you embark on a journey, you need to emotionally secure yourself, because if you don't, when you hit those emotional blocks, you need to be ready for it. So yeah, in 2020 December, I hit this emotional block where I was feeling depressed, and like I said to you, I blamed it on my grieving of my family and friends back home. I blamed it on the global pandemic and the fact that we had to stay indoors and stuff. And though that I tried my best to, you know, fight this, to combat it, I have been open and honest with you guys about my journey. I felt stuck. Yeah, I felt stuck. I felt really stuck. So I decided to just take a step back, because I was aware that I was stuck. So I decided to take a step back and, you know, accept that this is what it is and I need to take care of myself and take radical action to transform myself. Now, intentionally and unintentionally, I think I was doing it. When I look back at it, I was going through an evolving journey, and for me, I was not, I don't, maybe I was or I wasn't, but I wasn't fully ready to let go of my past self, who I was grieving the fact that, you know, I no longer have to do pageants anymore because now I'm married. My life will be different and all of that. So I think all of that, I didn't give myself enough time to adjust, I think. And then jumping into, you know, becoming your very best self and trying to translate my pageantry experiences into the holistic living, that caused me to realize that I had more shit to work on. Like they say, the higher the level, the higher the devil. Every new level is a new devil. So I really had to go through this. I really had to take some time back to, you know, to take stock of myself, where I am, because as a leader, I consider myself to be a leader. As a leader, I cannot be leading or preaching or educating on a certain topic and then deep down inside, I am not what I am saying. So for me, that was hypocritical, and I didn't want to continue in 2021 with that type of mindset. So yes, so in 2021 I made the decision to take a step back. So many people was asking me to come back on YouTube, come back into this. I really inspired them. We need to build a community and whatnot, and yes, I agreed. But with that being said, of my past story, starting the Very Best by Kaysia Verneuil-Joyeux and trying to teach people how to become their very best self, internally I was not feeling like I was my very best self. So in other words, I was working on the external factors of being your very best. I was working on my beauty. I was showing you guys how to do makeup flawlessly, might I add. I was showing you guys how to exercise, how to eat well. But on the psychological side, on the emotional side, on the spiritual side, I was literally starving myself. And I think in order for you to become your very best self, you need to master the universe that is inside of you. When you are able to master the universe that is inside of you, your psychological self, your emotional self, your intellectual self, honey, the universe outside you will automatically yield. You'll be able to, for example, just go to gym without having to stress about it too much. You'll be able to demand respect for yourself and others. You'll be able to set boundaries. You'll be able to achieve your goals without feeling stuck, because you know what it is that you are, you know what it is that you want, and then you align yourself to that. You align yourself emotionally, and then you actualize it with your actions. All right. Okay, so let me just have a sip of wine because this feels like a makeup sip and chat. I really miss doing it. I really wanted to come back into media, but I felt like I am not going to come back until I feel ready. Now, you will never feel 100% ready, or you will never feel 100% healed, because it is a journey. But I wanted to come back when I know I'm in a space where I can give off at least, if not 100% of myself, but at least 90% of myself. And I am here, I am ready, I'm fully committed to me and to you and to the journey of becoming your very best self, of becoming a diva, a queen, a woman who is empowered within herself and know what she wants, and she's unapologetically gonna go after it. Cheers. Okay guys, I'm being silly. So continuing with my journey, I was basically focusing on the external aspects of being your very best selves, and I realized that spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, I was not my very best self, because I was looking for, like, starting my journey of becoming your very best self. I literally was looking for external validation and thinking about what I should do. What will this person think? What will that person think? What does my family think? What does my in-laws think? And this is not the embodiment of a queen. You have to not care what people think to the point that it stagnates your dreams, it stagnates your actions. And then when I wanted to take this to a higher level, I realized that I'm like, God, why me? Why is it me that you're giving this calling? You know, I am not the one who has done this and done that. I am not this, or I am not that. Why is it me? But God gave me the vocation and the skill set, because I am the one who's called. I always believe that sometimes God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. So I think with this journey, it's also a learning journey for me, because it is my first time doing it. It's my first time really delving into the aspect of it. And I believe if you combine the emotional together with the physical, you are able to master your queenhood. So this is what I'll be talking to you guys about today. Let me just blend this a little bit more before I continue to talk. So yes, I felt like I couldn't preach or act basically about being your very best self when I personally was not taking care of my soul, and I wasn't being my very best self. I wasn't literally having clarity within myself as to what I wanted to do and how I really wanted to translate that to the world. And I felt I reached at a certain point where my old self was dying. I was like going through a metamorphosis of my own self that I wasn't really ready to let go. So I was having a tug of war with myself and my identity. And I remember being married, and then, you know, I was having certain conflicts and arguments with certain people about, oh, my role as a wife, and then me trying to be a people pleaser and all of that. And all of that just came into a big wall where I said, you know what, let me just shut you down. Let me focus on myself, my healing, and then I will come back as my, at least, better version of myself. So this is why I took a year off, in essence. And to be honest, I invested quite a lot, time, energy, money, into over 6 coaches, probably 10. I invested a lot in books. I read and listened to a lot of audiobooks as well as physical books, over dozens of books, as a matter of fact, over the course of the year, while simultaneously preparing myself and building myself for this. I questioned, because after I stopped, I'm like, can I really go back into this? Can I really, you know, sustain the longevity of my goals, of what I want to do. I question it, but that in itself was just fear and me trying to get an excuse or a reason as to why to stay in the back burner and not step forward. So yeah, over the course of the year I also battled that because I was not owning my queenhood. And in all essence, when I look back at everything, this is what it stemmed down to. I was not owning my queenhood. Let me just counter my face a little bit. And when I realized that, guys, this was a eureka moment. When I realized that this was why I was feeling anxiety, or this was why I was not feeling like I was good enough, or this was why I was feeling like I had to look for external validation rather than the internal validation within myself in order for me to do what I had to do. I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is it. So after that eureka moment, I realized, you know what, let me just own my queenhood. And this is where I rebranded myself. I rebranded my whole self from VeryBest by Kaysia Verneuil-Joyeux, and I created another brand which I am now going to fully implement and fully commit to. It's called Divadynasty. I know you guys have been seeing it, but I haven't officially launched as yet. But this is my brand, Divadynasty, and I believe that after all what I have learned from my 10 years of pageantry journey, through either being a contestant, a chaperone, or you know, just because of my journey and my explanations of how I can transcend that into my life. So in essence, I wasn't in the right mindset. I didn't have the right mindset in order for me to fully think of the long-term vision, the longevity of myself, my brand, in who I am and what I wanted to do. And yes, I was preaching VeryBest by Kaysia Verneuil-Joyeux, but I was not giving of my very best. I was allowing anxiety. I was allowing fear. I was allowing the opinions of other people. I was allowing being a people pleaser and betraying myself so that I could find an excuse as to why I shouldn't be doing this journey. And I'm like, you know what? I'm no longer doing any of that. I'm no longer complaining. I'm no longer finding excuses as to why not to do this. I'm going to fully commit to it no matter what on my queenhood, because I know there are people out there who are waiting for me to step into my power so that they can inadvertently step into theirs. I always said on one of my pageant interview questions was, you know, my famous answer that I always love by Miriam Williamson: our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, to be talented, to be fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are made to manifest the glory of God. And as you let your light shine, you inadvertently let the lights of others shine. So that was something that I always preached, but I wasn't acting upon it. And when I decided to work on the emotional aspect of this, the mental aspect of it, go through the therapy of it, noteworthy, I went through therapy to understand myself as a woman, as a person, as a spirit. I went through, you know, several investments through coaches, etc., to understand the traumas that I have been having through my past relationships, or in any aspect of my life, my pageant traumas, my relationship traumas, my money traumas, all the traumas that I have, and all the reasons why I was telling myself that I was not good enough. I decided to work through that. And then here I am today, feeling empowered. Thank you, Lord. I am feeling like I'm on a healing journey, because healing, you don't heal completely, sometimes go back and forth. But from where I was back in 2020, now that we are in 2022, I am in a much better place, thanks be to God. Okay, so yes, so like I was saying, I have these points written down here. Let me just get my powder. Let me just quickly set this. So I decided to go into hermit mode. I stepped back, I stopped my brand, and I decided to rebrand myself to Divadynasty. Now, where did the name Divadynasty come from? The name Divadynasty, I always tell myself I'm a diva. I think by now you guys should know. I'm a diva, I'm a queen. Yes. And a diva for me is a female version of a hustler. I've always been a hustler. I will remain a hustler. It's in my name. It's just in me. That's how I was raised. Point blank. Period. Anyway, so yeah, Divadynasty came about from me thinking about how I can inculcate my experiences of growth, of evolving, of my metamorphosis as a woman, a married woman, an empowered woman, a queen, into my mission, my purpose in life. And I think after going through that year of clarity and finding my purpose, I know what it is. And I am so thankful for that. I am so thankful. So my mission for Divadynasty is to be a bridge builder, to not only be the example and set the example, but to help empower women to own their queenhood, to remove the barriers that are keeping them stuck in their lives, to help them identify that and work through these barriers, you know, so that they can own their queenhood in their personal lives or on the pageant platform. I very much, what's the word? I vociferously or vehemently believe that in order for you to own your queenhood on stage, on a pageant stage, you need to own your queenhood in your life. A pageant queen is already seen. Most times when I judge pageants, I can already see the top 3. I can already see the queens. They know they are a queen even before they actually complete the pageant. So this is what I want to transcend my learnings from pageantry, as well as life, as well as inculcating the emotional and mental part of it into my brand Divadynasty, to help empower men in order so that they can own their queenhood within themselves, so that it can transcend in any area of their life, in anything that they want to do, whether it's a pageant, whether it's what else can we do? A running competition, a boxing competition. You have to understand that you have to master the universe that is within you before you can master the universe that is outside you. Okay? So yes, so moving forward, this is what my coaching brand and business will be about. I will be helping to coach women as well as pageant contestants and help them deconstruct the beliefs that are keeping them behind in their lives, so that they can level up and become the queens that we are all meant to be. Remember, God made you in his image and his likeness. You are sovereign, you are royalty. I need you to step into that power and own your queenhood. God said, let your light shine for all the world to see, so men will see the good you do and give your Father praise. I am unapologetically a spiritual being. And when I tapped into my spirituality, I realized, you know, doing this is not about me. It's bigger than me. It is actually my passion, my purpose, my way of giving back in service of the world. And this is why I have decided to fully commit to my mission. And I am going to be showing you that, how to commit to your mission, your purpose, your vision for yourself and your life unapologetically, without having to necessarily look for validation from left, validation from right, but knowing that it comes from within you. Okay, so with that being said, I will be launching my very first mini course called Bridge the Negative Mindset. Many a times we are wired to have a negative mindset. So I will be launching this course called Bridge the Negative Mindset in order for us to begin to deconstruct, unlearn the things, the negative bias that we have had in our mind, and reconstruct, relearn, or learn a new bias, the positive bias, so that we can begin to take steps to own our queenhood. I'm excited. I'm so excited. This will be launched on January 27th, and I am so ready. I am so excited, super excited to have you to join me on this journey of owning our community. Thank you for holding space for me for the past 2 years of this journey. Thank you for joining me, for liking, for sharing, for supporting me, for purchasing. Also, let me let you know that right now, because it's going to be for a limited amount of time, I do have my Own Your Queenhood planner out. It's completely free. Just have to check out 0000, and that is it. You can get your digital copy of my Own Your Queenhood planner. That is what I use to help me to plan my goals, plan my future, plan my life, you know. So I decided, you know what, let me give it as a first gift. Let me give it out as a first gift to you, so that you guys can begin to at least plan your 2022, because from 2022 and beyond, I want us to own our queenhood and become our very best selves. Let me just announce what I have for us planned. From the 16th, I believe, I will be doing Mentorship Mondays. Yes, Mentorship Mondays lives. It reminds me of when I used to have a little sister, little pageant sister that I used to mentor and stuff. So I've decided to put it not on Sundays like I used to have the makeup sip and chat. Yes, let me have a sip of wine again. It's going to be on Mondays this time, every Monday. I'm thinking of keeping it short, simple, and sweet. You guys know very well, I don't know, I'm trying to keep it for 30 minutes, but like I said, for my makeup sip and chat, it was supposed to be for 1 hour, and with the back and forth, the engagements and stuff, we lasted sometimes 2.5 hours. So I'm trying to keep this live for 15 minutes. We're going to be talking about a topic of the month. We'll have our themes, and we'll have our open discussion lives on Instagram. So I'm looking forward to that as well. I'm thinking about having it at 11:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is 3:30 Eastern Caribbean time. Right now we are 4 hours behind. So yes, this is the time. So look out for Mentorship Mondays. Let me just line my lips. It's amazing. I was watching this thing on Instagram called Pimple Satisfy, and then the next day I saw pimple came the same spot on my lips, right here and right here. I'm like, look at this. This is why we need to be feeding our brains and mind, body the right things, because honey, trust and believe it's going to, which one should I use, this or this? I'll use this. I think it's like a lip gloss. It's going to actualize. I am barely seeing what I'm doing. I'm barely seeing. Okay, so this is my quick and basic makeup. This is my quick and basic look for get ready with me. Let me go put on my clothes. Let me just do a little bit of contouring here, and I will show you guys the finished look. Thank you so much for looking at this IGTV live, however I decide to put it with me. Thank you for watching to the complete end. I am Kaysia Verneuil-Joyeux, CEO of Divadynasty. Yes, it feels good to say that. I am Kaysia Verneuil-Joyeux, Chief Executive Officer or Executive Coach of Divadynasty. It's been a royal pleasing pleasure to serve you, because that is what I will be doing, as well as an honor. And see you on the winning side, Queen. See you on the winning side. I want to see you on the winning side. As much as I want to win, I think this is my life's purpose. I want to see you win. I believe in a community of empowerment, and I think that if we as women empower ourselves, we'll have less of all the problems society is facing right now. If we empower ourselves, we empower our kings. We attract the right queens. We attract the right fathers for our children. We attract an even better society, an even better socio-economic society, if we understand that we as women are alpha beings, we are royalty, we are the head. So yes, see you on the winning side. And I would like to end with this affirmation, or this creed, Divadynasty creed as I would like to call it. I will win. Repeat after me. I will win. I must win. God has ordained me to win, and I will do it for His glory. Okay.